everybody, my name is Page, and today I will be taking a look at LEGO set number 71738, Zane's Titan Mech Battle. The set was released in 2021, where it retailed for about €65, and I got mine recently for €45. It's a pretty great set. It's a legacy set from Ninjago, so it's supposed to be like an older vehicle, which I also have, and it's Zane's Titan Mech Battle. Um, to call it a battle is a bit broad because I don't really see anything worth battling except for two ghosts. But the set comes with the Zane minifigure, a golden variant of Jay, and two ghost minifigures. So let's just start with those. So for the first two figures, we have the Ghost with Soul Archer and Gulzar. Some things to say, these are different from the originals. In my opinion, a lot worse. But that's because they lack their own personality. Because these are like pretty much the same figure, just a different accessory and helmet array. But that's mostly my opinion. First off, the accessory Soul Archer, he comes with one of these regular bows. I believe the original Soul Archer had more of the compound bow design, but I could be mistaken on that. But nothing too much, just a simple black bow. We've seen it before. Gulzar, however, comes with this oversized axe, which is pretty similar to the ones used in the original, although it looks like a bit of a different coloring inside this piece, but it's being the same piece. So in that case, it's pretty much similar to the originals. For the face prints, both of them actually have the same face print, which is not how the originals were. Let me just get one of the originals so you can actually see it. Like, by comparing the two Gulzar, you can see that sure they use a different armor piece, which isn't really that bad. First off, he is missing, the new one is missing the back printing on his face, whereas the front they're pretty much similar, just a bit different. So in this case, it's not really that one is better than the other. It's just by keep this one in mind. When I go to show you the difference in the other two, like here is the Soul Archer, the old one, and here is the new one, you can see that the old one has a lot of character, has almost all different pieces, a completely different face, even with printing on the head, and a unique mold for the helmet, it's a big difference. Lego, sure that they have a different style, I don't really care about that, but they lost all personality and just gave him one different helmet and were like, yeah, that's good. So kind of lazy. I mean, these old ones were better than these new ones, but they're fine. The new ones, they're absolutely fine. I do really like, by the way, some complaining aside, getting a dark blue ninja wrap with a purple head, purple band. That's really cool. I really like that one. Now let's get to the good guys. And here are the two good guys with the Golden Jay, which is not canonical to the set, canonically accurate. And we have the kind of mix between Deep Stone and Erjitsu Zane, but more leaning towards the Deep Stone Zane, which is an amazingly cool color for the headgear. Again, 2 in 1 set. That's pretty great. With a white and a black strip, which is really cool for if you would want to create your own ninja variants. These two figures are both exclusive to the set. I believe the previous two were also technically exclusive to the set, but had a in-between variant in a smaller set. these figures look really cool. This J is supposed to be like the Prime Empire golden variant, which has the regular face print as the regular J has, and he doesn't have the like health bar showing. That's a bit weird. And taking his armor off and his arm piece off, you can see he has a really cool back printing and torso printing, and you can actually put him in with the different helmet. Looking pretty okay. I would probably suggest adding, if you want to have them all look like the same, I would probably suggest adding the crystallized helmet. Would look a bit better in my opinion. I'll test it out in a bit. Yeah, that does look really cool. It does make him more like the regular ninja instead of this bulky Prime Empire one. But that aside. Now for the Deepstone Zane, and of course since it's the legacy one, I have to get the original one here. And this one they've actually pretty faithfully adapted. Where, yeah, it's a different helmet or a different cowl piece and a different armor piece, but I prefer the white arms actually. Didn't realize that. But these two figures are pretty similar, just different face prints and different torso prints, but looking really faithful to the original. You can actually take off this helmet and you get a bit of an angry expression. And he actually comes with his hairpiece. And I may even like this variant even better. It's a really good figure, this one. He comes with the same kind of bow and with the sword. And for his back torso printing, also getting like his dragon eye saber tooth kind of face. Cat, I don't know what it is, on the back. Looking really cool. Probably these two figures are the better ones of the set. But let's get into the bigger build. And before we get into the bigger build, the golden variant of J, he also comes with this 10 years of Ninjago black, which is similar to all the other ones. And he actually can stand up on this trunk. And putting the armor on so you can actually see what it completely looks like. Adding his head back on there and his cowl, and you can see looking really cool. This is now the third one I have. So that's it for this figure. Now let's get on to the big build. So here we have the mech itself, which is, compared to the other mechs in the background, about the same height, but it's a little shorter. It's the closest to Lloyd's Titan mech in size. And these older ones, they're a bit smaller. Comparing it to the ruler, which is now at 30 at the bottom, and it's kind of like 25 centimeters or a bit 10.5 inches. Yeah, about. It's a pretty big set. And of course, comparing it to the same figure we just looked at, it's towering over it. Like, absolutely. Which is a lot higher than the original, which I will compare it to in just a bit. But starting with the mech at the top, and I'll take it a bit closer, that's easier to handle. Starting with the top, you get this head, which is on a hinge joint and then a ball joint, so you can actually move it about and up and down. Looking really cool, just like the original, maybe even better, but that's something for another video. Getting to spring-loaded shooters in here, which you can actually like twist up and down at 2 different intervals. I do have these breaking off quite often because they're just attached with 3 studs, but that's maybe something just I have. In the cockpit, you can see that there is like a bit of a seat, which looks very comfortable actually. And I don't no, there are no control panels in there, but doesn't need to be. Yes, these stickers on its head look really cool. going from the torso a bit down, you have this really cool, like, looking like a face of some sort, like a really menacing face, but looking really cool. Some cool details, even this, like, fin piece, or like this piece, which is a really interesting part use, and it looks really great. Going a bit down, you can see there are some more details, even using the shield pieces in there, and some of these flaps so you can cover up the joints. Pretty cool. Going with the arms, you can see these big old shoulder pads, which you can actually move out of the way if you want to, but look best just like this. You can see some the stickers on there, having an elbow joint, by the way, and the hands with individual posable fingers and a thumb, getting this blade piece, which we've seen before, and just some exhaust pipes, and it looks pretty cool. Also from the back, by the way, it's like finished on the back, even the parts you wouldn't look at normally. No, these parts, but that's Lego for you. Same here, looking really cool, even getting a big saw piece. And for the rest, the arm is pretty much the same. Going with the legs, you can see a sticker on this sand blue roof part. And going down, you can see these really cool exhaust pipes from the legs. It's really hard to maneuver it at this point, but you have these really cool exhaust pipes, and if you move them out of the way, you can actually see a beehive for some thrusters, which are 4 of them in this set, which is really pretty cool. These original like wing pieces for the dragons, seen in the old Ultra Dragon, etc. And some more droid heads. And now I have to get my stand in here, because otherwise it'll most definitely topple over. You can see that there are some joints in this set. First off, this is one of the earlier mech sets with the knee joint, which is pretty cool, and it's actually fairly sturdy, where it can hold itself up because it has multiple attachments. So you can actually like lean it, and it looks really cool and very well integrated. Also, there's an ankle joint, and for the feet, unlike later mechs, there are no stoppers. So if you actually splay it out, where the legs would be like this, they will move to the side. So unlike the latest ones, that's not the best way to pose it. Of course, now it will get hard. Changing it up a bit. Of course, the mech also has some hip joints, and I just broke something off. Let me just fix that. So as I said, you of course have a hip joint, which can move forward. No, not back. Oh yeah, it can move one back, and of course it can splay out and technically in. The arm is in the way. But this is done with one of these huge, these big hip pieces, which all of the giant mechs in the back here actually use. But this can actually give it some great poses. For the shoulders, you have of course these old ratcheted Technic kind of joints. You have this part which can actually move, the elbow which I showed, the elbow which I showed, and the wrist can also move back and forth. You can of course spin this about, and the head, which I've already shown. Now let me just compare it with the original model. And here it is next to the original. And wow, can you see the size difference Lego mechs have gotten to. I mean, I still remember getting this set way back for the same price as this one, or about the same price. But this one did come with another mech, that being the Possessed Samurai X mech. But they do give off the same mech vibe. It's just This one is way bigger and way cooler, but there is, funnily enough, one feature that the new one doesn't have, which the old one did have, which I, by the way, really liked about the old one. And that is that the old one can actually move in the middle, which is really cool with these blades where it can actually like show you cutting someone, which is something that the new one is definitely missing. But with the added size and the knee joints and the way better looks, I think it gets a pass. But let's just think of my final thoughts of the set. So, what are my thoughts for this set? Well, I surprisingly really like it. At first I was against buying it because I already had the original. But this one is just way better and way cooler, and I should have seen it earlier. Um, Especially comparing it to the Mechs behind here. It's just like the others. It's a really cool one. They're evolved, especially since the originals, as you just saw. Um, what I really like about this set is the color scheme, where it uses the white, the sand blue, and also some dark azure, which all in all just gives out the vibe that this is an ice mech, and it really thrives at that. Um, for the minifigures, it's a bit too few for this price. Um, like you just get 4 minifigures at this price point. That's really bad. So, if you can still find this set on shelves, it's a really great set to buy, especially if you're a fan for Ninjago mechs, just like the ones in the back, which I'm a pretty big fan of. Um, I really like it. I should have bought it earlier, but then again, now I got it cheaper. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next video. So if you like it, leave a like and subscribe. And till then, goodbye.